Okay, here I am in the basement of my own home. But don't get up here and yell. After all, it's only Thursday. Thursday. Gotta wait till Friday. Even in this day and age, you would gotta wait till Friday. Even in this day and age, if you're a teacher, you probably think that it's a funny thing that you give your students Saturday and Sunday off, or if they're lucky, Monday. They work so hard to get to those 2 days, and Friday comes and they're all, yeah! Here's the weekend! And then they come in Monday, and they say, can't believe I'm back here. I don't really want to go to school. School is for chumps. That's what some of them might say. But seriously, I think it's because Friday, or rather Saturday or Sunday, those are the days that they really, really have fun on. Probably go to the movies or maybe go out to the arcade, play a few games. Yeah, don't mind the lighting. It's motion sensitive. Anyway, but I think the biggest thing is they would go out for pizza. Yeah, pizza. They a lot. I like. There's a lot of toppings that I like on pizza. In fact, the the most popular one I think is pepperoni. Now I have never ever known anyone who has not gotten pepperoni on their pizza, unless of course they happen to be vegetarian or whatever, in which case they would get a veggie pizza. Which brings up one unusual topping: broccoli. I mean, I like broccoli, but it's just kind of weird to see it on a pizza. Know what I mean? But there's yeah, two pizza toppings that I don't really have a high opinion of. One of them is is pineapple. Now I understand that's an essential. Now I understand that's an essential topping on on a Hawaiian pizza, but let me tell you what happens when I eat pineapple. It always sends like an electric shock up to me. I don't know why. Pepperoni, that's better than pineapple. Way better. And that, excuse me, that makes the sour, sweet flavor of pineapple. That kind of clashes. Pizza's not supposed to be sweet. No, not unless it was a dessert pizza. But the biggest one is anchovies. Yeah, they're disgusting. They're slimy, salty, and they taste kind of dry. Who in their right mind? I mean, who in their right mind would want anchovies on their pizza? Yeah. Anyway, I'm not down here to. Anyway, I'm not down here to tell you that. I want to talk about one very important individual in my life. I excuse me. February 13th, 1992. A person whom I didn't know would be important in my life was born. Now I was roughly speaking, around 1.5 or so. I am, of course, talking about my sister, Jessica. We must, well, recently we call her Jess for short. Anyway, she was born on that day, and for a while she was nice to have around. But as we got older, she started to become more stubborn and sometimes fought with my mother. Excuse me. I don't think this camera angle is right. Let me adjust it a little. Pardon the blackness here. Yeah, there we go. As I was saying, Jess often fought with mom because she would not let Jess do what she wanted to do. Because of that, I thought she was a bad kid. In a way, she kind of, well, let me just say, I was starting to realize just that I wasn't exactly such a perfect angel myself. I was a bit of a slacker. I had to be told to do my homework from school, which is basically the reason why all throughout high school I did it there so I wouldn't have to take it here. Anyway, please note that I had no idea how girls are growing up, so I mistakenly thought that Jess was a bad child. For instance, if she wanted to go out with her friends, but it was a school night, she would tell mom, and mom would say, "No, you can't go," and then she'd throw a fit. It's not fit. No, I want to go. Well, you're not. So there. For a few years, I took mom's side, but as time went by, I didn't care. All I wanted was some peace and quiet. It happen, it happens when you're autistic. Sometimes you hate loud noises. They bug you. Now, where was I? Oh yeah. It lasted this way until that's how it was. That's how it was from then until Jess went to college. For for te, for at least 18 years, Jess and mom would argue whenever she would not let her do what she wanted. In fact, there was always one instance each year, the St. John Fisher's Parish Festival. Now, let me describe what that is. That's a church that my grandfather, Robert G. Grimes Sr., used to be a minister at. In fact, he and my maternal grandmother, Mary Grace Grimes, they worked there on the, well, cooking some of the food, specifically the hamburgers and hot dogs. Now there wasn't one last year because of this pandemic, and there probably won't be any more. Anyway, that was one instance where Jess would fight with mom, but mostly because she didn't want to be there. I didn't call it then, but I called it the same thing happens every year. I sometimes told my parents I never wanted a sister. I wish I was an only child, or rather, or rather had, or rather had a brother that would at least do what you did unquestioningly. Face it, Jess is a bad, bad girl. But all this did was make them mad at me. Anyway, at least 6 years ago, Jess moved out to go to West Virginia University in Morgantown. Basically, they base it, and I thought that after all the years of arguments and fighting and whatnot, I thought that I would be glad to be rid of Jess. But as time went by, I soon began to realize that it was lonely without her here, and to be honest, it still is. I still do miss Jess every day, and now I think she's a pretty wonderful girl. In fact, she's even married to to a wonderful guy, Nick Robertson, whom I'm glad she met. And there would be, oh, and speaking of whom, hope I got you that one, Nick. Anyway, they recently got a daughter, my niece, Reagan Ann Robertson. And she's such a cute little thing. Anyways, I learned I learned from the day she went to college that you should appreciate and cherish your siblings while they're still there, because one moment they're here and then because one moment they're here and the next they're gone, possibly to never see again, except maybe on the holidays. And I tell everyone who are still kids and are still with their siblings, cherish them while you can. Don't make the same mistakes I did. Now then, Jess, I hope you don't take all this, what I said, the wrong way. But I did this for your birthday to relate all the things that we went through as children. Thank you, and happy birthday.